Hello and welcome. Our lead story. Well, India has gotten its longest sea bridge. The Prime Minister inaugurated the much-awaited Atal Bihari Vajpayee Sewri-Nhava Sheva Atal Setu, the longest bridge as well as the longest sea bridge in the country connecting South Mumbai with Navi Mumbai. It is seen as an engineering marvel, a transformational infrastructure project that will boost Mumbai's connectivity. At the inaugural event, the Prime Minister said the Atal Setu is a glimpse of what developed India is going to look like. But the politics cannot be divorced from the event as well. He also lashed out at the opposition, claiming it had stalled the projects like this and other infrastructure projects that are key to the lives of the people.
देश पर दशकों तक शासन करने वालों ने देश का समय और टैक्स पेयर का पैसा दोनों ही की परवाह नहीं की है। इसलिए पहले के दौर में कोई प्रोजेक्ट या तो जमीन पर उतरता ही नहीं था या फिर दशकों तक लटका रहता था। ये जो अटल सेतु आज हमें मिला है, इसकी प्लानिंग भी कई सालों पहले चल रही थी। हमारी सरकार की नीयत साफ है। आज सरकार की निष्ठा सिर्फ और सिर्फ देश के प्रति और देशवासियों के प्रति है।
It starts from Sewri in Mumbai and goes to Navi Mumbai, passes to Navi Mumbai and ends at Chile. This is the end point, and it reduces the travel time significantly. That is the big takeaway. That is the key takeaway. Of course, you had almost a 38-kilometer passage in the original route. It took over 60 minutes, over an hour to reach Navi Mumbai from Mumbai, and of course the two key milestones as well. But with the new sea bridge, with the Atal Setu, it reduces the travel time from over 60 minutes to less than 16 minutes. That is how significant this is. In fact, the link route has also been reduced from over 38 kilometers to 16 kilometers. But what's also important to note here is that it traverses through key milestones of the Millennium City, which is why it has really changed the landscape, or it could perhaps potentially change the landscape of Mumbai. It has Kolaba, Mumbai Port, Jawaharlal Nehru Port in its vicinity. Very importantly, also the Navi Mumbai International Airport that's about to come up. So that is also in close vicinity. So truly the landscape of the Millennium City changing. That is what the political pitch of the BJP is as well.
के सबसे लंबे 22 किलोमीटर लंबे समुद्री पुल से अटल सेतु, जिसका आज उद्घाटन प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने किया, इसके लिए महाराष्ट्र दौरे पर थे और बहुत बड़ी सौगात मुंबई वासियों को मिल चुकी है, क्योंकि मुंबई नवी मुंबई को जोड़ने के लिए जो सफर लोग तय करते थे वो 2 घंटे से ज्यादा का कई बार होता था, जो घटकर अब 20 मिनट हो जाएगा। तो बहुत ही बड़ा मुंबई वासियों के लिए तोहफा। इसकी खूबसूरत तस्वीर हम आपको दिखा दें, पहली तस्वीर, क्योंकि कल से ही आम नागरिकों के लिए अटल सेतु खुलने वाला है। उससे पहले एनडीटीवी के स्क्रीन पर आप इसकी तस्वीरें देख रहे हैं। गेम चेंजर साबित होगा ये मुंबई वासियों के लिए, जहां आबादी इस कदर है कि वहां पर जगह की कमी है, और अब एक ऐसा शहर जो अपने आप में मुंबई जैसा चमकता दिखेगा। यहां पर रेसिडेंशियल कमर्शियल स्पेस एक के बाद एक बनने शुरू हो रहे हैं। इसके उद्घाटन की खबर आने के समय से ही उम्मीद ये भी है कि प्रॉपर्टी की रेट में जल्द उछाल भी दिखेगा, और इसी के साथ ही तेजी से रफ्तार से नवी मुंबई में जो इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट है उस पर भी काम शुरू हो चुका है। तो मुंबई से सीधे नवी मुंबई का रास्ता 20 मिनट में तय होगा, और विशेष तकनीक से इसको बनाया गया है ताकि भूकंप, तेज तूफान और ऊंची लहरों का असर इस पर न पड़े। साल 2016 में पीएम मोदी ने खुद इसका शिलान्यास किया था, और अब जाकर उन्होंने साल 2024 में इसका उद्घाटन किया है। साल की शुरुआत एक बड़े सौगात के साथ राजनीतिक चश्मे से भी इसे देखा जा रहा है, क्योंकि लोकसभा चुनाव के साथ ही महाराष्ट्र विधानसभा चुनाव भी देखने वाला है।
And well, in other news, just days to go for the big temple consecration ceremony, and once a sleepy temple town is now in a flux. A road in Ayodhya has become the symbol of development. It is a 13-kilometer legendary Ram Path that has come up, and it is Ayodhya's lifeline from Faizabad to Ayodhya Dham. Well, the road is flanked by Surya Stambs or solar pillars on both sides. NDTV reports from the ground.
This is Ayodhya's new lifeline, the 13-kilometer long Ram Path that connects the town of Faizabad to the Ayodhya Dham. The one single lane congested road has now been widened, and is nearing completion. From broad footpaths to lamp posts on the divider to signages on both sides, the Ram Path mirrors the changing face of Ayodhya. SP Gupta, a local entrepreneur who's been making brass statues for generations along the Ram Path, says the changes to the temple town have been very impressive.
तो अब वो चौराहा जो आप बता रहे हैं वो चौराहा हट गया तो राम पथ हो गया, वहाँ पर भक्ति पथ हो गया। हाँ, दो नाम हो गए ना एक चौराहे पे। अच्छा।
On the Ram Path, devotees from across the country and even from places like Nepal were full of praise about the infrastructure overhaul in Ayodhya.
कहाँ से आए हैं महाराज?
महाराष्ट्र शहर में यवतमाल डिस्ट्रिक्ट तालुका पुसद, यहाँ से हम आए हैं और यहाँ हम 22 तारीख तक रहेंगे।
अच्छा, और ये राम पथ पर चलते हुए कैसा लगा?
बहुत बढ़िया लगा है, बहुत गौरव लग रहा है।
पहली बार आए हैं अयोध्या?
अयोध्या पहली बार ही आए हैं।
कैसा लगा है सर?
एकदम मतलब जो हमने पढ़ा था सुना था अयोध्या के लोग राम के बराबरी है, कोई छल कपट ठग ठागे ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। जैसा सुना था वैसा ही पाया।
A little ahead on the Ram Path is the road to the Ram Temple. This road has been decked up for the grand temple opening.
बहुत बदलाव हुआ, जितना बदलाव, सड़क चौड़ी हो गई, सौंदर्यीकरण हो गया, लोग आराम से खूब जी खा रहे हैं, व्यवस्था चकाचक, जिसमें जिए वही सही है, वही आराम जी।
All shops and homes on this 13-kilometer stretch of the Ram Path have been painted with the same color and provided with billboards by the administration. The idea is that the Ayodhya city should be developed as a model project, an amalgamation of religion and culture. With Ravish Ranjan Shukla in Ayodhya, Bureau Report, NDTV.
And well, in the run-up to the consecration ceremony, the politics over it is only peaking in a fresh face-off. Well, it's the opposition versus the BJP again, with just 10 days to go for the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. Ahead of the ceremony, a war of words has erupted between the Samajwadi Party President Akhilesh Yadav and the BJP. Akhilesh Yadav, in an interesting remark, has reached out to the Hindus in his own way, but the BJP says that the opposition is anti-Hindu. Meanwhile, a Congress Chief Minister, Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu, has said that we don't need the BJP invite to attend the temple consecration ceremony. He, remember, will be attending the event. Take a look.
अगर देश के चारों शंकराचार्य हम उनको सम्मान की दृष्टि से देखते हैं, वो हमारे धर्म के अगवा हैं, उन्हीं से बहुत सारी परंपराओं, बहुत सारे धर्म की जानकारी हमें मिलती है। और अगर चारों शंकराचार्य मना कर रहे हैं किसी बात को लेकर, तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी क्या आरोप लगाएगी उन पे कि वो सनातनी नहीं है? जो आरोप विपक्ष के नेताओं पे लगा रहे हैं, इनका बस चले तो हमारे जो पूजनीय सम्मानित जो शंकराचार्य जी हैं उन पे भी आरोप लगा सकते हैं।
देखिए, ये पूरे राष्ट्र का एक आयोजन है, एक बहुत बड़ा ये है तो मौका है हम लोगों के लिए। अब कांग्रेस पार्टी तो हमेशा ये हिंदुत्व के प्रति नकारात्मक रही। नेहरू जी जबकि सोमनाथ का ये हुआ था, पुनर्द्वार हुआ था, तो नेहरू जी नहीं गए। उनको हिंदुओं से क्या समस्या समझ में नहीं आता।
पार्टी ने कहीं नहीं कहा कि हम नहीं जाएंगे। उन्होंने कहा कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जो हमें निमंत्रण दिया है, हम उस बैनर के तले नहीं जाएंगे। अगर वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के जो नेता है, अगर वो निमंत्रण देते और उसका राजनीतिकरण करते तो वो गलत बात है। भगवान राम के दरबार में जाने के लिए किसी निमंत्रण की जरूरत नहीं है।
And well, in the run-up to 2024, a big political conundrum also for the India bloc. The Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party met today. And well, the meeting was, of course, about seat sharing, the first round of negotiations. This, in fact, the second round, a similar meet happened a few days ago as well. Let's listen in to what the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party leaders had to say.
सब अच्छी बातें हुई, सारी अच्छी बातें हुई। How soon can we expect a formal announcement? I hope very soon, because we are tied up with so many different colleagues that we have to meet tomorrow, day after, etc., etc. As soon as we have the next meeting, we will then be able to firm up certain proposals and bring them before our leadership. जो भी करेंगे वो साथ मिलकर करेंगे, ये मैं आपको स्पष्ट कर दूं।
क्रिकेट मैच की तरह बॉल बाय बॉल कमेंट्री नहीं हो सकती। बहुत अच्छी बातचीत चल रही है। सलमान खुर्शीद जी ने आपसे विस्तार से चर्चा करी है। जब कुछ बताने लायक होगा आपसे फिर विस्तार से चर्चा करेंगे।
And our senior colleague Sunil Prabhu is now joining us live on the phone line. So Sunil sir, this is a second round of meetings between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. What has really moved from the first meeting? Of course, these meetings are very closely watched, but last time there was some amount of openness that was expressed in forming alliances in Delhi and Punjab at least. What is the status currently?
Well, the status hasn't really progressed very much, and that's the reason for why they say that they will continue to talk. The only good saving grace is that both of them are saying that they will continue to have a discussion. Both leaders from both sides, be it the AAP leadership as well as the Congress leadership, are keen on having an alliance, whether it will be just confined to Delhi, because they all know that in Punjab it's going to be extremely difficult for the AAP leadership to concede space, and for the Congress, which are sitting MPs, to concede space. The AAP also wants a presence in Gujarat, in Goa, in Haryana. And it's in these contexts that it's going to be extremely difficult for the Congress to concede that space when they have little or no presence out there. So those are the issues which will have to be ironed out. Tomorrow, the India Alliance, the partners will be meeting through a Zoom meeting, and hopefully, apart from seat sharing as well as the Bharat Jodo Udai Yatra, which they'll be discussing, there'll be some way forward in terms of how to take these things ahead, because there's a coordination committee and they really need to resolve this entire crisis.
Sunil, thanks very much for joining us with that updates. Of course, the Aam Aadmi Party has expressed its desire to form an alliance, even in states where it has some organization like Gujarat and Haryana, and not just in Delhi and Punjab. So many differences to be ironed out, which is why these meetings will continue. With that, we'll take a short break. News continues on the other side. Welcome back. And the agency versus opposition face-off only intensifying as polls come close. Well, trouble mounts for the TMC as three party leaders are now under the scanner of the investigating agencies. The Enforcement Directorate raided a senior West Bengal minister, Sujit Bose, on Friday, and at least two other ruling Trinamool Congress leaders in connection with an alleged recruitment scam in civic bodies are now on the agency radar. Well, the TMC has said that this is nothing but political vendetta. Listen in to what the Bengal minister had to say after the raids ended at his residence.
हम लोग तो बोल रहा है जे ये पॉलिटिकल वेंडेटा ये तो पहले से ही बोलता है। जब निर्वाचन आता है ये लोग का ईडी, सीबीआई और क्या है इनकम टैक्स को ये लोग सबको नोटिस देता है। क्या हमारा की कमजोरी करना है? हमको नहीं कमजोरी नहीं करना सकता है। हम लोग मजबूर है और हमारा साथ जो पार्टी का कर्मी है सब लोग भी शक्तिशाली भी है। हम लोग को भी माथा झुकाता, सिर नहीं झुकाता है, किसी आदमी को सिर नहीं झुकाता है।
And Saurabh Gupta is now joining us live on the phone line. So Saurabh, ED raids ending there and the TMC calling it political vendetta. But given that multiple TMC leaders are now on the agency radar, the party's image does take a hit politically.
Yes, that's what it is. And of course, that's what the TMC is saying. In fact, the TMC spokesperson Kunal Ghosh exactly saying the same thing. That this is an attempt by the BJP to actually clear ground in West Bengal for them to also contest and win seats. That's what the TMC's allegation is, that this is being done at the behest of the BJP so that the BJP can compete with the TMC, and central agencies are acting at the behest of the BJP, which controls the government at the center. Now, there's a BJP narrative as well. The BJP narrative is that, look, Trinamool is corrupt and their ministers are corrupt and there are corruption charges, and that is why the central agencies are acting and going after them. And this is basically the law taking its course. So you will see these two narratives play out as elections approach. However, the fact is that there is, of course, a lot of TMC ministers who are facing central agency heat, and before elections, this is a worrying thing because some of these ministers have important roles in the election campaign. in charge of several constituencies, like Sujit Bose himself. So it's going to be a worry. But the TMC says that this will not affect its electoral prospects, given the fact that the people, they say, can see through the BJP's plans, which is, of course, to create ground in West Bengal by using central agencies. The BJP says the people can see through the TMC's corruption, and therefore it has good prospects. So you will see these kind of statements play out over central agency action in West Bengal as elections approach.
Sir, thanks very much for joining us with that update. Multiple hour-long raid at the TMC minister's residence, and well, of course, this becoming a huge political flashpoint as well. But moving now to the big international headline, trouble in the Red Sea as maritime tensions are escalating. Well, the US and the UK targeted the Houthi rebels in Yemen, and this comes after multiple attacks in the Red Sea. Multiple ships have been targeted by Houthi rebels in the Red Sea, particularly in the Suez Canal area. And the US and the UK now launching an all-out attack on the Houthi rebels by sea and by air. And the UK Prime Minister has said that the action is proportionate and in self-defense. The White House, meanwhile, says that these are targeted strikes and a clear message has been sent.
The US and the UK launched a joint airstrike targeting over a dozen Houthi rebel bases in Yemen. The UK has said it acted in self-defense along with the US amid continued attacks by the Houthis on shipping vessels in the Red Sea.
It's very, very important that your viewers understand that the reason for last night's action was self-defense. 2 nights ago, there were sustained attacks onto HMS Diamond, a Royal Navy destroyer that is currently in the southern Red Sea alongside 3 US Navy destroyers.
The Houthis have hit back at the US, vowing retaliation against US aggression while voicing support for the Palestinian cause.
غاشم لن يثني اليمن عن موقفه الداعم والمساند لمظلومية الشعب الفلسطيني، والقوات المسلحة اليمنية تؤكد استمرارها في منع السفن الإسرائيلية أو المتجهة إلى موانئ فلسطين المحتلة من الملاحة في البحرين العربي والأحمر. والله حسبنا ونعم الوكيل، نعم المولى ونعم النصير.
They also maintain that 5 people have been killed and 6 injured in the latest airstrikes on Yemen. Even as hearings in South Africa initiated genocide trial against Israel proceed at The Hague. Israel's airstrikes continue targeting Gaza, with the war showing no signs of slowing down. Ishan Arora's report for NDTV.
It's extremely worrying there. It has wide-ranging consequences for global trade. And finally, NDTV's Arun Singh caught up with Emmy Award winner James Higginson about his documentary film Shuddhi, a film about leprosy patients in India, set for its world premiere at the Rajasthan International Film Festival on the 30th of January, which also happens to be World Leprosy Day. Take a look.
We have a very special guest to talk about the issue and its ground reality. Hi, I'm Arun Singh. Join me in welcoming Emmy Award-winning director James Higginson. A very warm welcome. His documentary Shuddhi is set for its world premiere at the Rajasthan International Film Festival. The film talks about leprosy and the lives of real leprosy patients, capturing their stories and conversation. Firstly, thanks a lot for joining us here at NDTV. My first question would be, very basic. How did you zero down on this subject?
Namaste, and thank you for the invitation. It was a little bit over 12 years ago that I was first introduced to the ashram and to the patients. I was here with some students, and then I was traveling on my own, photographing throughout India, and I was in Rajasthan. And I was invited to go along with someone that's going to deliver food to the patients. And when I went and met them, they touched my heart. I mean, seriously, hearing their individual stories about spending 30 to 50 years of their lives after getting a disease that was of, it just happened in their life. It was just fate that they happened to acquire it. And then they were forced to live in relative isolation. And I said, I'd like to do something more. Something more must be done. And then fast forward during the course of the 12 years, I was working back in Hollywood. I got GBS, which paralyzed me from the chest through my feet, and spent 4 months in going through a wheelchair, working with a walker, learning to walk again. This only increased and heightened my empathy and understanding for disabilities and people with disabilities and living with disabilities, and the wish to be included, the inclusion of people that are differently capable to be put into society in a meaningful way.
So, well, an important documentary there about something that happens to be a very stark reality. That's all the time that we have on this bulletin. From all of us here, goodbye.